ua.edu/visit.
We keep moving right along here at the 2023 Gulf South Conference Football Media Day here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel at Hoover, Alabama, right outside of the Magic City of Birmingham. We're joined now by the team right off of I-20, the West Alabama Tigers. Brett Gilliland is a lifer of West Alabama, ninth year, 10th overall, counting COVID. We don't count COVID, but, Coach, we thank you so very much for joining us.
It's always good to be here.
And we're also joined by Davonchae Bryant. He may be the tallest interior lineman in the Gulf South Conference, standing at 6'7". And I see you're dressed pretty dapper today.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Coach, first of all, you got some new roles for your coaches. You've made some adjustments. Talk about those adjustments.
Well, Carmen Phyllis, who was originally on my staff as offensive coordinator, left us a few years back and went to Stony Brook as the offensive coordinator there. He came back and rejoined us last year in a special teams and receivers role. He is moving into the offensive coordinator position and will coach the quarterbacks. And then Lamont Seward's a coach that we had on staff as well that came back to us as a special teams coordinator and receiver coach. So those coaches are new but not new. They've been around. They know West Alabama. They know Livingston. They know Gulf South Conference very well, and so we're excited to have them back.
Having a high output offense basically as the standard for the conference, what can we expect to see from your offense with these new roles for your coaches?
Well, we'll be a little bit different in just what we've done in the past. We've been very spread and try to play fast and not do too much stuff. We will branch out and do a little more in the run game and a little different pass game. So it'll be different and it'll be exciting for the fans to see. So, but like you said, I mean, offense has to be prolific in this league, and we had a great defense last year that put up a lot of good numbers, and we gotta get the others to come along.
When we talk about defense, this young man is front and center at 6'7", 295. What did you do during the off season to improve yourself?
Just focus on my mechanics, getting in better stances, staying lower, improving my strength and my footwork.
All right. Now, you stand 6'7". Getting low is something that is pretty hard to do. What were you trying to do in order to get yourself more flexible in order to do that?
It's just like yoga, like meditation. Meditation.
Meditation.
And, yeah. Yoga, meditation is like just more like flexibility workouts for me to get lower and lower and like standing under the chute. So every time I get out of the chute, I don't hit my head no more.
Okay. So it was a lot of alone time you and the chute. Okay. I like that. What can we expect to see from your defense this year?
It's just steady improvement. It's like we got the same team, but it's a different team in a different way.
Okay. Explain that.
All right. So it's the same team you see, but we all got different mindsets. All attacking it different ways. We all improving in our weaknesses from last year. So all of us last year, you won't see a whole different us this year.
Okay, I like that, Coach. When you talk about your defense, do you like what he's saying, that they have a different mentality coming in?
Certainly, and last year's defense was really good, and I felt like we played really at a high level for most of the season. And like you said, we got a lot of the same faces coming back. Our biggest loss, we had the Defense Player of the Year at Mike linebacker, Mike Anderson, who will obviously be a hard shoes to fill on the field and off. He was such a great leader. So, you always have some holes to fill with that. But primarily, other than that Mike linebacker spot, we got a lot of the same guys, or at least guys that played in a lot of games that are coming back. So, definitely if we can improve on that and improve on the mindset, even better, then yes, that defense play at a high level, which would be good for the Tigers.
Yoga, meditation for Mr. Bryant. When you looked out on the practice field and saw him out there by himself working in that chute, what was going through your mind?
Well, our new strength coach does a lot with hip flexibility and mobility, and trying to do exactly what he said, get our guys to where they're more flexible, which you can't play lower if you're not more flexible. So that's something that all of our guys have incorporated into our off-season training. So it's been it's funny to see some of the things they do, but I could never get in some of the positions he puts them in. But it is very rewarding, and you can see the benefits from it. I mean, because like he said, he's not hitting his head on the chute. We want to see progress, right? That's progress.
Right. When you look at your offense, you lose one of your anchors of your offense in battle, better known as 8 Ball. What would we expect to see from your offensive backfield And do you expect to see one running back trying to take on all of the responsibilities that he had, or are you going to try to have running back by committee?
Well, I mean, 8-ball is a great asset for us. We've always been a little bit running back by committee. We always feel like if we don't have 2 or 3 really good running backs, then we're going to, at some point in the year, that's going to cause us problems. Because running back's a hard position to take the full load on, especially in this league.
Right.
This league is a very good defensive league, and so running backs take some brunt. But Bry Webb, who came on and started several games for us last year, will be our number 1 running back, and then Tony Brown, who we feel is a really, really good one to add to that running back by committee. I don't want to call him a 2 because we'll definitely have some things that have both them on the field at the same time, and they'll both get a lot of good playing time. And then we got several guys behind them that are coming up that we feel good about, and a couple of new freshmen coming in. So it'll always be running back by committee, but I think leading the charge you'll see Bry Webb and Tony Brown.
I hear you. Making the signals, your signal caller, what can we expect to see from your quarterback and the quarterback role in this offense? That'll be tweaked a little bit.
Well, it'll be interesting because this spring we had Tucker Melton, who was our starter last year, and Spencer Arsenault, who was our backup last year and played a decent amount. They both had a very good spring and both battled. And so, right now to say that one of those is our only guy is not reality. So it's going to be fun to see, and I ain't going to give a whole lot away, but it's going to be fun to see the Tiger offense with the quarterback position because both those guys can do some outstanding things. And so we're going to utilize their tools and the best way to help our offense move the ball down the field. And so, we're excited about that position and the competition that goes with it because it's always a competition, but also the fun that comes out of it because I think it's going to be exciting.
For the Tigers to turn the page and move up into the upper echelon of the conference, what can we expect to see, and what are the ingredients to becoming a championship ball club in the Gulf South?
Well, in the Gulf South Conference, it's always starts with injuries. Can you avoid main injuries in key positions? Because in one thing in Division II is we're not all super deep in a lot of spots. We really like the guys that we're going to be playing with. Can we keep them healthy throughout the duration of the season, especially in certain spots that we may not be as deep? And then after that, can our guys bond together and come together as a team and truly play for one another, because I really feel that's the number one ingredient. That's why we talk about the brotherhood. It's on the back of our helmet. We talk about that because of how important it is. But then schematically and more football-oriented, we've got to continue what we did and build off of what we did on defense, like Davonchae just talked about, of the mindset that we take, but also just the way we were able to stop the run and have success, because that's where it all starts for us on defense. And so we got to continue and build off of that, because we had a great season last year on the defense side of the ball. And then offensively, we got to produce more points. We had too many games that we didn't score in opportunities we could have and should have, and that led us to losing in some tight ball games that we really felt like we shouldn't have lost in. And, so we've got to be able to consistently move the ball and consistently put points on the board. And, that goes without saying. That's kind of everybody's in that same boat. But, we felt like that was the area last year that we slipped up.
Davonchae, is the defense ready to carry the offense until they can find their way and find that consistency that you need?
We always ready. We're ready for anything possible, anything. We're ready for to carry them if they need to get carried. They can carry us some games. We can carry them some games. But I know we can just feed off each other in every game.
I hear you. In the spread offenses that you see out here in the Gulf South Conference, how difficult is it as a defensive lineman to chase those quarterbacks that you have to do week in and week out?
It's certain quarterbacks that are like twitchy and some quarterbacks that are fast. So you just got to get your mind prepared. You don't have to run today. You just got to get your mind prepared.
I hear you. Coach, when you look at your schedule, it seems as though you never have a weak team or a weak link in the Gulf South. How do you see your schedule playing out when you look at it? Angelo State, you got to go to Limestone. Is there any part of the schedule where you say this is going to determine what type of team we'll have for the rest of the year?
Well, I think a Gulf South Conference schedule is always tough, right? And usually with our out-of-conference schedule, we've been able to schedule some games that we felt like we had a good shot in. This year, you look right off the bat, we start with Angelo State, who's going to be, depending on which poll, they're going to be top 5 or top 7 in the country. They were a number 1 seed in the playoffs last year in their super region, so they're coming to us on a Thursday night. So we're going to find out right off the bat. I mean, coaches always say the first game's the most important, which it is, and that's we'll get a good test of where we are at that moment. on that first game. And then we go to Limestone, who was a playoff team last year. So there's no easy. The only easy weekend on that schedule would be October 21st, the open date, and that'll be that'll be the only time we get to take a breath within that schedule. But that's Gulf South Conference football. That's what makes this place special. Mm-hmm. That's what makes this whole conference exciting. Is we're all rivals. We all give each other our best shot, and week in and week out, no matter who you play, you're gonna have to play your best. So now we've got to prepare ourselves to play 10 weeks of really good football to have a chance to earn more, and that's what it's all about. But it all starts week one, and all that starts in a few days.
No doubt about it. When you take a look at the new wrinkle for coaches, mm-hmm. instant replay, how excited are you about that, and how concerned are you that if I don't practice this enough, I may throw the flag out a little bit too early and lose my chance to go after a call?
That's always going to be you're going to have nerves of when to throw that, because is it a big enough play in the game? And that's something we got to measure. But I'm really excited that the conference did that. And that's something that the coaches brought forth last year. And we really wanted it to help our officiating, mm-hmm. just because, they're human, just like we are. I make bad calls, and there's certain things that we see differently that if we can add that layer to help, I thought it would be very, very beneficial. And so we pushed that as coaches. Our ADs listened, and they jumped on board with it. Matt, the commissioner, he did a great job of helping steer that, and the conference has really stepped up. So I'm excited about it. All of us coaches are excited about it. We understand. There may be most games we go through that no reviews are taken, because you only have each coach has one, and then if there's a targeting. So it's not like it's going to be where they stop the game and review it like you see on TV. But I am excited about the opportunity of, if we feel like there's a play that they need to take another look at, we have that ability now. And I think that's huge. I think it's huge for our guys. Our guys put a lot of work into the season and every game, and just like the coaches do. So any way we can help to just get it right. And the officials want to do that,
mm-hmm.
and I firmly believe that. And John does a great job with them, but it's just an added layer that has helped across the country, and we're excited to have it help GSC.
You've been in this conference for a long time. You've played there. You've coached there. Where do you see this conference going? Can it get any better than what it is right now?
I think top to bottom right now, it's really good. And these last few years, you just see by the different teams who have won the conference and gone deep in the playoffs. It's always from 17 on. It's been different teams, and I think right now, top to bottom, it's really good. Obviously, throughout the next few years, there'll be some shifts and changes within it, and that's something that we'll ride as it goes. And I know that's the commissioner's job and the and the president's to secure all that. And we're excited about the toughness of our conference right now, because we really do feel like that top to bottom we're as good as any conference in the country. And I think by showing the depth that one of our teams always makes a run in the playoffs, it kind of shows that. So I think it's a special conference to be in, that you can line up each week and know you're playing a top tier team.
A couple of more questions.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the ingredients that your team needs to show you to let you know that you've got a championship caliber team, mm-hmm. what are those ingredients?
Well, the first one will be the first week of practice, just seeing how all the guys come in, and I've seen a lot of them working this summer out there, so I know that Coach Ducart's done a great job with them. So seeing that they come in shape and come in ready to go, because like I mentioned with the injuries, that's a large part of it. If you come in shape and at your best, then you're going to at least avoid some injuries. Football's a violent game, so
Correct.
There's some you can't avoid. But I think that'll be the first step. And then the second step is just what Pig said. Can we play team football? Can offense have the defense's back when it needs it? Can the defense feed off the offense when it needs to? And special teams come and play as one of the best units in the country. And that's the biggest thing. We have to play within our schemes the best team football that we can to help the team be successful, whatever that looks like and whatever that takes. And some ball games, that's completely different than others. That can be having to throw the ball 60 times a game or having to run the ball 60 times a game. Whatever that looks like to help the team win that week, that's what we got to be prepared to do. And I think that's the exciting part about this team. I see that, and I see the ingredients there. Now it's got to all come together through fall camp.
All right, they take one more look at the schedule for West Alabama Tigers. And once again, Angelo State coming to I-20 in West Alabama. Limestone, they got to go to North Greenville, Mississippi College, Delta State at West Georgia on the other side of I-20. And then West Florida, you go down at Shawan, and then Valdosta State, and you finish the season at Shorter on the road. So a pretty good schedule. And the road games, do you think those are in your favor as far as location and time during the season when they're playing?
Well, the interesting, and we've done this before, but the interesting trips will be the back-to-back trips to South Carolina, Limestone and North Greenville, and we try to stay in the same hotel because they're so close to each other. So that's a pretty good 6 or plus hour trip that's back-to-back weeks. So anytime you have long trips back-to-back weeks, it's not super ideal. But you look at every conference schedule that we have, and everybody's their travel is pretty long. Obviously, going up to Chowan is a long haul for those of us that got to make that trip. But we're excited to have them in the conference and add a good strong team in our conference. So it's what we got to do. So I mean the good thing about it, when you get there, the field's the same size and it's going to have the same marks on it, and and so it's just line up and play, and it's our job to help take care of their bodies as we get them there and get them home. But I mean we've never worried much about going on the road and playing games.
One last question for you, Mr. Bryant. Coach alluded to a nickname, Pig.
Yes, sir.
Now you got to explain now before we let you guys go. Where did Pig come from?
All right, so my dad. All right, I was born. My dad and my mom was arguing what nickname I should get.
Serious?
Yeah. So my dad wanted to call me Pig because I was a fat baby.
Okay.
And my mom wanted to call me Rolly.
Pig Rolly.
Yeah. So.
I'm glad they stuck with Pig.
Yes. So everybody in the house calls you?
Yeah, everybody
Pig.
in the house, my family, coaches, teachers, Pig.
Okay, now you stand about 6'7" and some good shoes 6'8". I'm not going to call you Pig, Mr. Bryant, but good luck to you, and we thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
One thing on this man, just to brag on him for a minute, he led a lot of statistical categories as an interior defensive lineman last year. He's already got his degree, his undergrad. He's working towards a master's. He came to us from Pensacola, Florida, and played for my brother-in-law. So he's a great representation of what our program's all about.
He's extended family.
He's extended family. Somebody that comes and gets their degree and does a great job on the field, and so we're proud of him, proud to have him here representing us.
All right, West Alabama and Pig will kick off the season against Angelo State. Stay tuned. We'll have more from the 2023 Gulf South Conference Football Media Day.
Almost anywhere you go, people can tell you that there's something special about the University of West Alabama. It's our reputation, and there's something special here for you. But you won't quite get it until you experience it for yourself. Schedule a tour. There's no commitment to enroll or even apply. Come see our campus. Feel the vibe. Academics? We've been doing that for nearly 190 years. Campus life? We've got that covered. Tiger athletics? We keep our trophies polished. The only thing missing here is you. Get started now at uwa.edu/visit.